Let me start up the recordings again. Okay. We are rolling. And John, it's back to you.
All right, so we last left off. Our party has finally all assembled, all four of them, in the town of Commons Rest. We have met the elder, and the engineer Hemshaw has said that he needs a little bit of time to prepare before going to repair the way station. They decided they wanted to go get some refreshments at the inn because they've been promised such. And on the way, they ran into a elven woman who whispered to Lialta that she knows who's responsible and to find her outside the human community to the west of town. And they have now just entered the inn. It is mostly empty. You actually look, and at a far corner of the inn, there's just a mound of fur that I don't think Lialta would know what it is. The rest of you might. It is a bugbear, just passed out on top of the table, just all bundle of hair, which is a little alarming to see because traditionally not found in civilized, settled areas, and certainly not just lounging around in a bar on a day casually. But as you're looking at that and taking it in, you hear a voice from around the bar, and you see a dwarven woman step out, and she steps forward. And, all right. What'll it be?
Can I pet it? Lealta will point to the bugbear.
Oh, nope, honey. You're not going to want to do that. That there's Gluth. He's better just left alone. Okay. He's not going to hurt nobody back there. He's just a little drunk.
Hello, good woman. I'm in Baphosalts. Can I get some a menu, perhaps, or what are you serving here today?
Well, we have water if you need it, beer if you want it, and our special of the day is a cabbage soup on account of the fact it's the only thing on the menu. What makes it special?
What kind of meat you got?
Cabbage soup.
That's not meat.
It is if you pretend hard enough, sweetie.
Can I ask you, do you serve anything else? Like, I would like a refreshing bowl of milk, please.
She thinks for a moment and, it's a weird thing to ask for, but sure, I think I can probably get that for you if you need it.
Oh, jolly good. Perfect. I'll have the milk. And do you serve any pastries here?
No, we have cabbage soup.
Is there anyone who serves pastries in town?
She just laughs at you and walks away. It's a ridiculous question.
I'll have cabbage soup and looking at everyone in defiance and a beer.
All right, coming right up.
I'll take the cabbage soup if that's all that's on offer, and better than nothing.
All right, so you...
How do you not have any meat? How do you people survive here? How's everyone not just dead? Can't eat here. This is terrible.
She
with you.
She looks at you and she says, "Look, round here it's a little harder to come by certain things. We have whatever is on the menu on any given day."
Are there any given days where you got meat?
You had meat yesterday.
Because cabbage soup's going to give us all the shits.
Lealta will go wide-eyed and look up at you. She clearly doesn't know what the shits are.
Don't worry about it, little one.
Can I roll a history check to find out if I know if Asimar's shit or not?
You don't have to roll for that. They do. Bo,
okay.
Everybody poops.
I'd never know. So, biology of an Asimar I'm not really familiar with, so but my character would be, so I need to know that.
You don't even have bacon.
She ignores you. It has been made clear what's on the menu.
Now, is Sporsmeyer in cat form?
Yeah, I run over and jump up on one of the tables and kind of plop my butt down.
Oh, two bowls of milk, please, if I may impose.
She looks at you, looks at the cat. Meh, she just gives a little grunt and starts gathering it up. She lays out 2 bowls of cabbage soup, 2 bowls of milk, and anything to drink.
A beer.
Oh, right. She goes back, puts down a beer. It's warm.
What do you got that's got a little more kick than the beer?
It's cabbage soup and cabbage soup, my good friend. Come,
You
enjoy your
can
reward.
order multiple beers.
So all you've got is beer?
That's right.
I hate this town.
Gary, you're negative.
Yes, you're quite negative, Gary. You're bringing us all down. Lunch should be a festive time. Let us enjoy it. Chat.
Spores. Scratch once if they have horses in this town.
Wow.
So I have this picture. As soon as the milk gets delivered, that Spores and I both immediately plunk our faces into the bowl, like both of us at the same time in unison, just go after the bowl of milk.
Well, Spores, how do you drink the milk?
At first, I try to make little cat straw lips, but don't have enough lip to do it, so I sort of.
And I'm attacking the bowl, like tongue out. I got a big panther tongue, and I'm like, and milk sprays everywhere as I just lap it up. And when it gets onto my snout, tongue goes right out and cleans off my nose.
I'll see this and give it a shot.
I sit there just pissed. Because I'm not eating your damn cabbage and I'm not eating the milk. And I don't want a warm beer, so I'm going to be very petulant and just sit there.
It's not bothering her. She just goes. She's cleaning the counter where the milk is spraying.
Yeah, and while I'm spraying milk, drinking milk and spraying it. I would like to do an assessment of the area, like the kitchen, if possible. I want to look for crumbs. I want to look for foodstuffs. I want to see if there's anything warm, any source of fire. Like, is the kitchen visible? Do I have to peek into a door?
No, it looks like everything gets cooked pretty much right behind her.
Okay. All
I would
so there's like
also-
a hearth back there.
I would also like to do a perception check to see if she's lying to me
Okay.
about
Go ahead and roll it.
if there's any meat in the damn kitchen or somewhere stored.
That's insight.
Is it? I thought it'd be.
Sorry, bad habit. I'm not the DM. Shut up, Poe.
Go ahead and roll.
Whatever John says you do.
You want insight or perception?
You can roll perception.
All right. That would be 18.
Okay. So, judging by what you've seen coming into town, walking through town, your assessment of this town is this town has about, like I said, about 8 buildings total.
Okay.
It is in an area called the Badlands because it is the most southwest that civilization essentially reaches. This town is a glorified stop for a train to kind of resupply before moving back out. They survive on whatever's available at any given moment, and they are used to living with very little. So there is a very good chance that she's being honest with you as to if meat's available, it's meat. If there's no meat and they've got cabbage, it's cabbage soup. You know, the next day might be something else. They just sort of make do with what they have at any given moment.
All right. I'm going to just pull out one of my rations then, of which I have on my person, and begrudgingly eat the thing I would normally not need to eat in a place that serves food. So that's what I'm going to do.
All right.
Madam, do you have a name that I could refer to you by instead of lady?
Yeah, name's Madeline Shinetop.
Now, Mrs. Shinetop, do you have a washroom here? And I put my balls
Just
together and push them
Madeline, darling.
back. Madeline, do you have a washroom? Or a place that I can close the door and relieve myself?
Yeah, there's a outhouse out back.
You have anything indoors and a little cleaner than an outhouse?
They're
No.
not going to
No,
let
we
you
don't.
piss inside.
What do you use the outhouse to?
No, I use the cooking sink.
Oh,
Good lord.
Lialta will slowly push the bowl of cabbage away from her.
All right, I make my way to the outhouse. All right, I'll be back. Don't go anywhere, you guys. I'm just going to the bathroom.
Okay.
I'm going to do secret stuff, John.
Okay.
I will have obtained some of that secret stuff, in town during my 3 months and all that. I probably have some. So
What? What
I'm-
secret
okay.
stuff?
Ooh.
Silver Sleep.
Oh, okay.
Fantasy drugs.
Bo wants to do drugs. All right.
It's too
so-
short of a campaign to make a big fuss about it. So I'm going to the outhouse to go inject myself.
Gotta
with
go
silver
talk
sleep.
about.
Okay, so
Oh,
you
shit.
go sneaking into the outhouse, and you produce one of your silver sleep canisters. It looks kind of like an eye drop container, which is appropriate because the way it is administered is to tilt your head back and put the metal injector right at the corner of your eye and squeeze. You do it for both eyes, and immediately all the sounds around you just kind of sound muted. Like you've got your hands over your ears, and everything feels a little bit further away and quieter.
Intelligence is such a burden.
All right, so that's what Bo's doing out in the outhouse. What is everybody else doing in the end?
Spores, would it be all right if we visited the human town out west before we head out for our job?
And I look up from my
Scratch
milk
twice for yes.
covered, just dripping down my face. Meow.
Okay. So, Gary, where do you come from?
What do you call me Gary for?
I thought it was cute.
All right, it's fine. It's Garpoon, but that's fine. Where do I come from? Is that what you asked?
Yeah.
Oh, a long ways away, little one. A place you wouldn't like.
No?
Lots of fighting, blood, anger,
Oh.
sweat, tears. The worst this world has to offer. I've seen it all. But now I just need money. It's my sole reason for being here on this job.
So is that what brought you out this way?
Yeah, just another way to pad me pockets with some more gold.
Yeah, I've been sleeping on a bench for 3 months. The benches on the train were much more comfortable though, so I consider that an upgrade.
Hold on, you were homeless before this.
Oh yeah, well, I did something at home, and they weren't too happy about it. How parents can be.
What does your God say about it?
He doesn't say much.
I mean, it could be a she, I don't know. You guys with your fake gods and all.
Yeah, exactly. Fate. Yeah, you don't want a god.
No.
That's exactly what you don't want.
I don't
It's too complicated.
I don't think they're there. It's just it's just a trick for children and old ladies.
Absolutely. You shouldn't hold sway to any deity.
Well, you got that right.
What about you, Spores? Do druids, cat things follow gods?
Meow. I'm just looking back and forth between them each talk, looking very stiff, rigid, not cat-like at all.
I don't think he
Lialta's
can.
gonna try to pet it.
I don't think he can talk, young one.
I'll lean away from it a little bit, and
Oh, come on.
I'll lean back, sitting up straight.
She'll scratch an ear. Okay, that's weird. Then she'll move her hand back away.
All right, I think about this time I will stumble back into the bar.
All right.
I stumble back in, and I lean up against the wall, leave the door open, and I say, "Who's up for a song or two? I think I'm in the mood."
Who's singing it?
It's not, I don't sing so much as I play the violin, and I produce the violin.
Count me
And
out.
in my sort of stupor, I start going. And I start playing the violin in the room. Yeah. So now there's violin going.
Nicely, Alta's gonna bob her head along to the music.
My eyes are closed, and I've got this face. I'm making this effort as I play my violin for the patrons of the inn. Are there any other patrons in this bar besides the Gluth?
No, just Gluth in the back, sound asleep.
Aw.
And then, so if there isn't, as you guys eat your food, I play the song and then I finish it. Me. Sort of violently whip the bow and the violin, and then just without a word, put it back behind me. Sort of satisfied with myself. I'm gonna sit down next to Lealta and very quietly say, "I heard what the elf woman said to you."
Yeah, Boris said he could take us.
Do I perceive any of this, John?
Roll a perception check.
Okay.
I'm not trying to hide it from Garp.
Okay, then yeah, you
I
can
say
hear it.
quietly, but if he's listening,
I'll listen in. Okay.
Yeah, you're all kind of close together. You
All
can
right.
hear it.
All right.
I think we should go to that village.
Oh, absolutely. I've never been to a human village before.
Suppose Maya,
Meow.
are you allowed to proceed in your human form among humans, or will the branded ones turn you in too?
No, the eyes will shift both ways, and I'll jump down onto the table seat and then jump under the table. From under the table. All right. Here's the deal.
Oh,
They get a little weird about it, okay? So I'm just gonna cat until we're out, and then we can talk free.
Oh, you say they get a little weird about it. All right.
Yeah.
Nothing weird about a man under the table telling us secrets. That's not weird.
He's a survivor, Garpoon. He has to do what he must to avoid attention. Something we should all do. If certainly there are others out there trying to get our engineer, we should keep a low profile.
Still pretty weird.
Leanne. Nope, not Leanne. Excuse me. Not Tikuri. No, what's her name?
Who?
Madeleine.
Oh.
Madeleine,
Back
my
to a
dear.
cat.
You turn around. She's been watching all of this. She's really.
Could I have another bowl of milk, please?
She looks down at the counter covered in milk in places she couldn't reach. She looks back at you. Nope, fresh out.
Insight check.
Oh, she's lying. She's not even trying to hide it. You don't have to
Alright.
roll.
Yeah, I have a 17 passive insight, so booyah. I know all of her secrets. But can I convince her to try and give me milk?
She is not pleased with the mess you left. You can try, but she's pretty annoyed with you.
So I look at her and I say, "I'm sorry. I know that I've made a mess, but we're from out of town, and you have to understand. I come from the kind of upbringing where I don't really have to clean up after myself so much. It's my time is spent ruminating on the mysteries of the world that we exist in. So do forgive me, but be sure if there's any extra expense in cleaning up the milk, you can charge it to the Sult's account. You have a
I'll tell you what I can do. For everything you did, it'll be 3 gold.
very well. You may seek it from. Surely there's a bank in Commons Rest, even though it's a small place. There's industry here.
No, darling, I'm going to be seeking it from your pockets.
Oh, is that really necessary? You know, if you obtain it from the Sult's account, you can charge an interest, charge double, have a milk on me, and make it 6 gold. How about that?
For the milk, the soup, and the milk for your pet here, 3 gold.
Well, if you want to take 3 gold from the Sult's accounts, then you may. That's fine. But go ahead and charge 6 if you wish. Try to be
There
personal.
is no charging here. You're not going to get away with this.
I can do it. I can
No,
do it.
that's
I
me
mean,
as the DM telling you to stop arguing with her. You're not getting it.
Well, then if you don't want my money, then perhaps it's time for us to go.
I can cover it. And Lialta will pull out this raggedy little purse that she managed to find on the street somewhere. It's a poor little gutter, and she'll put the gold that she has on the table.
And I put a hand on your hand, and I look up at Madeline. I said, "Surely you're not going to make this young woman spend what little money she has on paying for this?"
I'm happy to. I don't need money.
Well, at least she understands how currency works, and she reaches for the coins.
Are you quite well? I'm a Sult. We literally bathe in money every day.
She hasn't read your books, clearly.
I don't care what your last name is. You pay like anybody else.
Well, I will pay, yes.
She takes the gold coins and goes back to ignoring Baffo.
Clearly, she does not understand the concept of modern banking.
They don't take credit here, Catman. They're not.
We really aren't in Serifax anymore.
You can't write a check. You can't tell her it's in the bank. You have to have it in your pocket.
I don't know how they honestly live out here. Sporsmire, it's a miracle you're even living.
You pay cash. That's the way it works. I have a very fast question for Salts, for the Catman.
Yes, Scarpoon.
Your instrument, what's it called?
My instrument. It is a violin. And it is named Heartstring.
What are the strings made of?
Can I roll a Wikipedia check?
Yeah, you can roll on a Wikipedia check.
I don't think it's a nylon. It must be steel. Violin strings. Hang on. What is it? The metal, probably, but violin strings. Wikipedia.
Garpoon. Wanting to know Wikipedia information since 2019.
Oh, I see his game.
This is going somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I just need a minute. I'm trying to remember if it's nylon or if it's steel.
I
think it's made of metal, though.
Garpoon, does this cat make you itchy? And she points to Sporsmire.
It's impossible to tell. I've got the itch either way. There's 2 cats in the room. It could be either one. Could be both.
Okay, so I have your answer for you here, Baffo. The strings themselves are made of steel, but back in the early days, they were made of sheep gut.
Oh.
Quite interesting.
Where I come from, it's made of cat gut, and I had all sorts of questions about why you'd have your own people strung up and used for instruments. Very odd. You cat people are odd.
I mean, it's not just the Tabaxi who play violin. It's all of the Gentiles and bards of Serifax and all over Arabia play violins.
Well, I play a little violence myself, but it's spelled different.
Oh, he's got a pun in his mind.
Oi, you got your money, we can go. I say
Please do, she calls back.
Right, let's go.
Very good.
Where are we going?
I'm ready to go. We're going to the human settlement, I believe.
Yes.
And we don't need to pick up Scrimshaw. Or Grimshaw. Hemshaw.
No.
I did my out of game
Sorry,
thing real quick. I just noticed in my own little read through, cat gut is actually sheep's stomach, and it was never cat's. I always thought
it was known as cat gut.
Yeah, why would they call it that? Damn it. Anyway,
Probably
sorry.
a reason.
They're probably a
It was
reason.
it was probably one of your ancestors who came
Trolling
up with that word.
Wikipedia.
And your ancestors were like, "I killed a cat," but clearly it was a sheep in his hands.
My attempt to
Right then.
embarrass you has failed. Let's go.
All right.
All right,
Pers-
you leave the inn and you start heading for the. You're showing them the way, correct,
Right.
Kyle? Okay, so you head out the inn and you start heading south through the southernmost gate. And as you approach, you notice that there is a tabaxi woman standing by the gate. She sees you, just gives a nod as you pass.
Oh, oh. You were requested
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
that's right. Yeah.
by the tiefling lady.
Oh, very, very well. Thank you.
Yes.
Did she say why?
To protect the engineer we brought.
Oh, okay. She kind of gives you a nod. I appreciate it. And she turns around and starts heading towards the town.
Excellent.
All right, so you continue to follow Spores, and he starts leading you towards, so this area is very mountainous. It's a desert, but it's got a lot of desert plants, desert shrubbery around it, lots of rocks. It's not like an arid, just sandy desert. Um, and he starts leading you towards a place that you can see is actually very green. It's not overgrown like a forest or a jungle, though. It's definitely, you know, desert trees, but there's a grove of them. But as you're approaching it, it's still a ways off in the distance. You see a building that is probably twice the size of the inn under construction. It's still very far from complete, but it's whatever this structure is, it's going to be bigger than any building inside the town, and it's right on the cusp of where this greenery kind of begins.
Is somebody
And
there? Are there people there working on it?
nobody's currently working on
Okay.
it. Nobody's around that you can see, but it's just something you make a note of on your passing as a landmark, sort of between Common's Rest and this grove that you're
Mhm.
being led to. And you continue further down into the grove, and you can see that this area is, like I said, it's green for the desert. There's a lot of paths all throughout. You can tell it sees a lot of foot traffic in here. um, and you start to make your way down into it. And are you gonna stay as a cat through all of this, or are you going into human form?
No, once we're out of, general sight of the town, I will go back into human form.
Okay.
It's quite impressive.
Thanks. Useful too.
And as you proceed, you see again up ahead, leaning against a tree, a elven woman. Her hair is gray, very silvery gray and long. She looks not not old, but she looks older, which for an elf probably means she's considerably old. Um, Probably several hundred years old,
Jeez.
to look this way. Um, but she's still very beautiful, very slender, but very out of place. Everything you've seen so far has been rugged and dirty, and she is, you know, just pristine. And she's wearing a dress that looks like she'd be going to a ball rather than sneaking around out in the desert. And she sees you approach and sort of signals you to approach closer.
Go ahead, Lealta. She summoned you.
Leoto will wave really wildly and start walking. Hi, we found you!
She kind of puts her hand up, ushering a degree of quiet, and she approaches and she says, "You are the investigators sent to find out what's happening here?"
That would be me.
She
The,
looks at you.
the rest out here is part of the protection for me.
No, we're for the engineer.
I'm the guide.
Right, he's the guide. This strong one here, don't anger him. He will kill you. He's the muscle, and Lealta as well is here for the protection of me, the superior intellect who has saw
And
fit
for
to
the
travel
engineer.
all the way down from Serifax to this backwater that doesn't really have much in the way of pastries to solve your mystery for you.
Well, I assure you it's no mystery. The reason the way station is failing is incredibly clear.
Oh, is it now? Do enlighten us, please.
Yeah.
And she looks over at Spores, and just a look of disgust appears on her face. And she goes, "It's the humans, obviously."
Whoops.
That's
You have to be more specific. The entire race of humanity has caused this way station to become disrupted.
It's all of them. And she gestures towards.
Okay, I get out my notepad and my quill. And all of them are breaking the way station. Do you know how many there are precisely?
a lot of
Or
humans.
approximate. Is it 1,000, 2,000 of them that broke the way station?
There's maybe 12, 13 in there.
12,
It's
13.
probably not all of them, but think about it.
Sorry.
Who benefits from the destruction of a way station?
Whoever destroyed it.
Why?
Sorry.
If the anathema gets
Because
into
that
our
was their
world,
goal.
it kills everybody except humans.
Well, then I'll meet my god faster.
Okay. Sorry, what's your name, elf woman?
My name is Zia. Zia
Zia.
Rosewood.
Zeroeswood?
Rosewood.
Rosewood. Thank you, Zia. Greatly appreciated. You mentioned 12 or 13 humans. Are they at the way station or are they here in the town?
No, they live in this dank little wood.
So there are 12 or 13 total humans in this dank wood.
I don't keep track of them. Yes, probably 12 or 13.
I'm sorry, I hope you don't find my questions upsetting, but I am here to find the solution, and I take questions. I'll have many questions in order to test the theory that you've put forward. So, according to you, 12 or 13 humans are using subterfuge to disrupt the way station. Do you know what tools or implements they are using for this?
She told us to put the pieces together.
Yes, is there someone else I can speak
I don't
to? At no
know.
point did I tell
I
you
would
it
say
was 12
axes.
or 13 humans doing this. But it's them. It's coming from their community. Those people. It could be one, it could be all 12, it could be more than that. I don't know and I don't care. I want them
Yeah.
gone.
But if you don't
Insight.
know, why are you saying anything?
I'd like to perform an
Because-
insight on her.
Okay, what sort of
Sorry,
so
I
just-
interrupted, so if you want to answer, I want to do that.
So, just so everybody knows, Bo has a feat. It's a homebrewed thing. He has Inspector's Insight. So, Bo, how are you going to use it? What are you going to be looking for?
I am focusing. I'm focusing on this person's words to carefully read into the person's words, seeking out lies from the truth. She has been
Okay.
saying a lot, so I will be observing what she says and finding the logic fallacy here. So I find if she's just isn't a racist, basically.
Okay.
Insight check is 9 plus 7 is 16.
Okay. So as she continues to speak, she's going to go ahead and continue to answer. I'll kind of give you a summary when we're done of what you've gleaned
Cool.
from what she has said.
Sounds good.
So she says, "Look, I want to move out here, as ridiculous as it sounds.
Yeah.
The
that's
Badlands
ridiculous.
are a place of growth. Look, Serifax is wonderful. It's great if you like being around a bunch of people. I like a little more privacy. I prefer to get out and be on my own. And, well, that is at a premium. And with the southwestern expansion on the way pretty soon, there might be cities as big as Serifax down here. I want to get in while I can. I'm going to buy up quite a bit of land and real estate down here and have my privacy that I can't get in the city. It's cheap and easy. However, I don't want a wood full of disgusting, illegal, unbranded humans mucking around. That's not going to do any good for me.
Have you paid them yet?
Paid who, dear?
You said you were going to pay the people for the land.
We've bought a sizable estate. We
But did
intend
you
to
pay
buy
them?
more. I'm sorry, who are we paying?
The humans.
They have no claim. Most of them aren't even allowed to be here legally. And so, Bo, from what you have gathered from just that conversation, she genuinely believes the things she's saying. She's not saying anything that is overtly a lie necessarily, but you do get the feeling that she's speaking from a place more interested in just getting what she wants than having any inside information on what's actually going on. But she's definitely focused mainly on getting humans out. Are you going to continue to keep this insight up while she's talking?
Well, I'm going to say something because I feel like
Okay.
I've drawn a conclusion here. Suppose, Maya, you might be interested to know that a genocide is coming for your people if this woman had her way.
Oh,
Well,
Yes, it seems that she will profit from the expansion into this area, and she's looking for someone to do her dirty work for us. So if we come here, find the humans guilty, then her path is cleared. And clearly, I don't believe that's something that we're going to be doing. You can hire your own murderers to commit genocide.
I
I
didn't
think-
say go in and kill them. Just
I
can't
know
you
that you
find the
didn't say-
ones that are here illegally and remove them? Don't you have some authority, or were you just sent here to watch an engineer work?
What did they do to you?
It's so tedious speaking to the slow-minded. Look, you don't have to say things for me to know what the truth is. I have made my conclusion based on the things that you've said and the clues that you've brought forward. You're not saying it, but your hands, the way they move every time you speak, belie the fact that you feel rage towards them. That you are not mildly, but quite strongly racist towards them and want your wood protected from these evil humans. I think I have a mind to tell Garpoon to pinch your head in like a zit, unless you don't leave immediately, unless, Lealta, you have any objections or want to ask your elf friend anything further. But I'm
She's
quite
not
done
my
with her.
friend.
Whatever. I don't have time for this. And she starts to walk away and she turns around and says, Look, you're such a great inspector, as opposed to a bunch of bumbling idiots, which is all I've observed so far. You figure out who profits from this, and
We
you'll
will.
come to the correct conclusion. And
Yeah.
she goes storming off.
We'll let you know.
Don't be too upset with her. We've embarrassed her. She's supposed to feel that way, I think. I'm picking cabbage out of my teeth while I wait.
Garpoon, I need you to make a dexterity save, please.
Can do. Oh, Lord. I'm nervous. All right, sorry, my map is not up. All right, there we go. Dexterity is... 20, not natural.
Okay, so while you're watching her kind of storm off, you hear a weird popping and crackling next to you, and you kind of slowly shift your head, and you see a ribbon of violet energy kind of crackling near your head, and you kind of jump back from it because you were startled, and you pull your head back, and all of a sudden a tear just seems to open out of nowhere, and a stream of water fires right across where your head was. And then you hear another and it closes and shuts.
Did you see that?
I did. It looked like a stream of water.
well, that's no good.
It was not water.
What was that?
Do you know what it was, cat number 2?
Likely. This is probably reality falling apart, frankly. So we best get moving.
Baffo, I need you to make a dexterity save, please.
Save. Dexterity plus 7 plus 5 is 12.
12, all right. You hear a similar pop, and you look around, having just witnessed this, and next thing you know, your feet are wet. And you look down, and there is one of these just off to the side of you, and water is bubbling up, and all of a sudden you hear a wet slapping sound as a fish is now just materialized on the ground and is flapping back and forth on the ground by your feet.
He finally got his fish.
Well, shit.
He got a fish.
Lealth is just so happy
Sorry,
right now.
Suppose, Maya, is there something that you know about the impact of this way station that perhaps you can enlighten us with? What if it goes down? Is that what's happening here?
Would that be the correct assumption of my knowledge of the thing?
Yeah, make an Arcana check.
All right.
I think that fish fell out your bum.
6 total.
It doesn't have any
Okay.
poo on it that I can see.
It fell
Yeah,
out your bum.
you're not sure. It's probably either something real specific or the end of the world. It could be either. It's either way.
Right, then perhaps we should collect the engineer and get it to work then. This elven lady turned out to be not very helpful after all.
That would be best.
Is the fish still there?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stab it with my longsword and eat it.
Oh, meat for the...
Finally, some meat. Out of my
Garpoon's
way,
eyes.
schling! I just
As you do that, Garpoon's eyes goes wide as if he's hoping you'd offer him some.
whose eyes? Your eyes?
Who?
Oh, but Baffo's.
I was like,
Sorry,
wait,
I was
I'm
role-playing
really
your
lost.
character.
All right,
So
I'll
you
tear,
do like fish.
I tear off the head. I toss it at you. I put the whole thing in my mouth, and I pull it out like in the cartoons. It just leaves the bone body behind, and there's just the tail and the bones, and I throw that part at you too.
Okay, well, I don't take the fish, but I take the fish head, stab it in my fingers, and I squeeze it, and pop out the 2 eyeballs in the air, and open my mouth, and go,
Oh
and eat
man!
the eyeballs. And I toss the head away.
I need everybody to roll a dexterity save.
This is to stop the diarrhea we've now acquired.
4.
15.
9.
9 also.
Okay. There is a large crack. It looks like violet lightning going vertically just in the middle of the air. And it parts open, and everybody who rolled single digits, it suddenly shoots open, and again another stream of water comes out, soaking all of you. You don't take damage or anything. You're just now drenched in water from this. And then there's another loud pop, hiss, and it cuts and closes again.
I start drying myself.
This
And
is
while
gonna take
my
hours.
tongue is out and on my fur, I'm like, I believe we can get out here.
And now you all are very alert hearing these sounds, and you catch the sounds, especially you, Bafo, because of your passive perception. You hear walking behind you.
I immediately look in this direction and try to percept into the distance.
Not a lot to percept. Pushing through from behind some trees and bushes, you see a woman walk through, flanked by 2 orcs on either side of her. And you can see the bush moving. Another orc is pushing through behind her.
Garpoon, unsheath your weapon.
This woman has bronze orange skin. Her hair is golden, almost glowing, flame-like. And she steps out, and she's not really looking at you. She's looking directly at Spores. And she goes, "What a surprise. There's trouble with the way station, and the unbranded human turns up again. I knew you would show up."
Ah, how's the rash?
What rash?
Oh.
"Fine," she says, kind of gritting her teeth and clenching her fist. "This time, I assure you, things are going to turn out differently. Do you want to surrender, or do we have to do this the hard way?"
Did you have any sand in your mouth?
I'm sorry, what?
When you woke up, sand in the mouth.
No, I didn't.
That's because I stopped it. See? This is all as it's supposed to be. You're alive. I'm alive. The only problem here is that water's shooting out of the sky, and it ain't rain. We got a
No.
job to do, and I'd
Huh.
like to move on.
No. The last time I let you go up to that way station, it bought, what, a couple months? And now look at it. And she gestures around, and you can see that kind of throughout this area, you'll see a little crackle and water kind of seep through. Occasionally, a crackle will just open and nothing will come out, but generally speaking, you're seeing it, and water is slowly kind of making its way. And now the area is starting to kind of look like rain. Like there's been a rainfall, just there's been enough water coming through. And she says, I'm not going to let you near that way station. You are under arrest for being an illegal, unbranded human, and you're going to be wanted in questioning for what has occurred at the way station. And she looks at the rest of you and she says, I suggest the rest of you step back and let me handle this.
No, we were hired.
que-
This is our job.
Question for the DM.
Yeah.
Whose jurisdiction would Commons Rest be under in terms of law, country? Like, who am I? If someone says they're under arrest, who I think I'm dealing with?
You would probably
dealing
be
with.
assuming you were dealing with someone who's come from the capital, most likely.
So not
Gen-
Serifax, but
Serifax is not the capital.
the capital
so,
of Arivia is.
It's just referred to as the capital.
It's the capital. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to.
No,
get that.
that's fine. She says, I would suggest the rest of you stand down while I deal with this.
Okay. Perception check. I want to find. Are there any hiding places?
There are
It's daytime, but there's
slim
trees.
It's daytime. You're not gonna. The trees are very narrow. There's areas of overgrowth. It's gonna be hard to hide, but you could certainly try. You're mostly right now in a clearing. There were trees kind of around. You've been following a path through, but Zia picked a spot where she knew you all would see her, so you are kind of now in an open area.
Okay. All right. Cool. And so we don't know her name yet, right? The woman who's approached us.
You don't. You could ask her.
I won't. I'm going to look at her in the eye. I'm going to say, Gapoon, if you push them down, I can hit them quite hard.
I'll look at him
She
quizzically.
looks at you and says, I see what you're trying to do. Do not stand up for someone breaking the law. I assure you I have authority in this manner. And she snaps her fingers and you hear more rustling behind you. And now, at a decent distance away, you see 4 more orcs moving through the bushes behind you.
6 orcs. And what's the race of the woman? Sorry, I missed it.
She's Genasi.
6 orcs and a Genasi. Gapoon.
Yes, I've learned my lesson. I brought more this time.
We're clearly all trying to do the same thing. Why don't we work together to figure it out? As
I
a
agree.
persuasion roll.
Okay.
Can I give it
22.
by nodding aggressively? Can I give advantage? 8 other.
Sure. 22 is pretty good, but you're gonna have to be real good to convince her not to.
It sounds like they mean to arrest you, Spolsmeyer. And if I know the boring pencil-pushing bureaucrats of various police forces throughout Irivium, they're all very dull-minded, and once they set their minds on something, no amount of intelligence or proper thinking is going to change them, because the law says it.
Oh, I don't know about that. Now I want to intimidate. I want to tell.
Okay.
I want to tell. I'm going to say this and then I'll roll. I'm going to say, there's still time to leave. You don't have to do any of this. You could just walk away. Better yet, work with us. But if you don't do that, there'll be hell to pay. And then I roll a. Oh my gosh!
Can I aid him by saying he's only killed 2 this morning?
You may
That's
not
quite low
have
for
to
this
because I rolled a natural 20 plus 1, so 21.
Okay, so you all are trying definitely very hard to defuse this situation. And she holds up her hands and she says, "Look, I am here for one person who is breaking the law. One person who, I might add, attacked me not but 5 months ago when there was already trouble with this way station.
Well,
Now,
it
I
sounds
assure
like you were
you are all
dirty.
working with a criminal."
He's only guilty of being an unbranded human. And
Yes, it's illegal.
It is very illegal.
what's illegal is to not pursue the good of your conscience. A law which is unjust is no law at all, at least as far as I'm concerned. I'm not speak for my companions. Please remove yourself from my presence.
He's harmless, he's stanky and old and has hair everywhere. Turns into a cat. What are you worried
If
about?
anything, you're the danger because you have a rash? What's that about?
I
Why
got
would
one
we
of
want to let you
those.
near anybody with a rash?
The rash is your friend's doing.
Well, you have some responsibility in the matter too.
I was doing my job then, as I'm doing my job now. Now I am taking him. I have no quarrel with you, but if you do try to stop me, we will fight. This is your
You-
last chance.
I'm taking an opportunity to remind you that you quarreled with a member of House Salt.
She knows who they are. She
I'm sure she
doesn't
does.
seem phased.
He's a book character.
Yes, I've heard his tales.
They're not my tales, they're Chando's tales. They're quite exaggerated.
I'm sure. And she gestures and the orcs start moving forward.
All right, Gapoon, push them on the ground so I can sneak attack them.
When you say push him on the ground, which one of the 50 do you mean?
I mean, when you select your action on your turn during combat, what you
I
can
mean,
do is
not
shove
to
them on
just-
the ground, and then I can.
Not to just immediately shut down this really in-depth strategy session, but just so you know, Bo, all it takes is for him to be engaging somebody and you to be on the other side to have advantage.
I didn't want to assume flanking was in. It's not in 5e, I don't think, but it's a house rule. I know they do in crit roll and stuff like. I just didn't want to assume, so I've been.
So yeah, you don't have to worry about him shoving everybody.
I get
over
flanking
or anything
advantage.
like that.
Yes, that means he gets it too, right? Or is it just a rogue thing?
We're giving you your sneak attack. He would roll with advantage if they were engaged with you. It's whoever they are actively targeting. If they're dealing with him, he doesn't have that advantage.
Gotcha. All right, I get out my violin.
All right, they see it as a hostile action. Everybody roll for initiative.
Jeez, 18.
14.
19.
Sorry,
I have 22.
14.
This group
What
has
did you
better
say
initiative.
yours was, Kyle?
19.
Okay. Jeez, look at you all. All right, I've got about a million other initiatives I got to roll here. 1 second. We're just going to do a general one for the orcs because there's a lot of
I know what outside game thing real quick. I know what Bo wants me to do, but my character would be.
You don't need to do it. John cleared up that you don't need to do it anymore.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But I just want to make the point that he would be confused by such a thing and be like,
He's allowing flanking, so if you're fighting with somebody, I can sneak behind them and get my bonus rogue damage dice.
okay.
But by default, I don't think that's in 5e, so I have to do something like push them or blind them.
I didn't even. I really didn't realize yours was. I didn't even realize you had a rogue. How dumb am I?
Yeah, I'm a rogue.
Yeah, I didn't know.
All right, Bafo, you are the first to act. You have, just to give you an idea of the battlefield right now, the four of you are essentially, we're just going to say you're in a line, you're standing shoulder to shoulder. In front of you, you have the Genasi. She's about 30 feet away from you. She's flanked on either side by two orcs. She has another orc that's standing directly behind her. Behind you, also about 30 feet, are three orcs, also in a line with a fourth orc behind the center one. So just to make it easy, because I don't know how to use D20, consider you're dealing with a space that's about oval. It kind of has some light cover here and there, but generally speaking, nothing that's going to be super strategic.
Any
to
ground
advantage.
features besides it being damp and muddy?
No, it's yeah.
Are the trees hanging overhead in any way?
No, they're too thin. They wouldn't support weight if you were trying to climb them.
So we're just in an open area,
Pretty much,
basically.
yeah.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm just going to raise my crossbow and non-lethally attack the lead character. Sorry, the
Okay.
woman, the
Genasi.
Genasi.
Okay.
Okay, so I take my bow as combat starts, transform it into a hand crossbow, and with great poise, raise it out in front of me in a cat-like stance and fire. Make it a good roll. All right, it is 15.
Okay, that does hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
1d8. Oops, that's a d10. I was like, why did I get 10 damage? 8 plus 3 is 9, 10, 11.
11.
Lucky
Non-lethal.
rolls today. You
Max,
rolled
it's a max damage roll.
Yeah, you rolled a d10 and got 10, and then rolled a d8 and got 8.
Yeah.
Crazy. Nice work.
I have plenty of
Okay.
low rolls this game. I'm taking my max rolls to the limit.
Okay. You fire out an arrow immediately and just hits her. She kind of stumbles from it. It's a big impact, and you kind of see her head go down in a look of shock. Is there any other action you're taking on your turn, or just that?
So what I'm also going to do with my bonus action is, sorry about that, I'm new to rogues. Where is it? Sorry, my cunning action. Cunning action is take a bonus action to dash, disengage, or hide. Is there a way through the people that I can run out to the woods without provoking opportunity attacks?
To run out into the woods?
Right, and make it so that we're not all stuck in the center.
Yeah, you could run that way, sure.
I use feline agility and bonus action dash to run 90 feet into the woods and put myself at max range of to take shots with heartstring, which would be 80 feet if I can. Or like keep myself within 60 to 80 feet of them. So I'm now out in the forest. I've got cover and I've got a clear shot of everybody with my crossbow.
Okay.
So I get on all fours in my Sherlock clothes and I'm just like hoofing it. I just bolt right out of there into the forest after taking the shot.
You are out there in the woods with your bow. All right. Next up is going to be Spores. You are up.
Cool. The other orcs in the back, are they range armed?
Looking at them, they haven't readied yet. Looking at their armaments, you do see they have javelins on their back as well as great axes, so they could potentially, but they have not actually armed themselves yet.
Cool. And then did Baffo run behind us or in front of us?
He ran to the side to avoid any opportunity attacks, so he's kind of off to the far left of you.
Okay, cool. Then I'm going to cast Fog Cloud centered on myself, obscuring Garfield, myself, and Leal.
You can call me Lee for
Lee.
short.
And Lee. And I'll do this by putting my hands together like I'm holding a little ball and just start swirling out mist from it. And I'll look up at her as I cast and go, "Miss me." And
That's awesome.
All right. So you see all of a sudden from the ground just a rolling mist and fog envelop the area, and all of a sudden, you are all in a fog. You're not entirely sure what's going on out there. Baffo, you can see this from the side, just a fog that has now
Are the assailants in the fog or no?
No.
Just my teammates. Okay.
No, they're just outside of where it would reach.
Awesome.
All right. Anything else on your turn?
no, that is it for now.
All right, Lialta, it is your turn.
All right, so Lialta's gonna be looking around. This is the first time she's ever been circled by enemies, and she's gonna be going, oh god, we're gonna need some help here. And with that, a bless is gonna come down. The first spell cast ever, I think, I've ever done in D&D. So this is gonna be 30-foot range. I'm going to bless Garpoon and Spores, and that means whenever you two make an attack roll or a saving throw, and this is going to last up to a minute, it's concentration though, you guys can roll a d4 and add that number to the attack or the saving throw.
Okay. I think that can apply to you as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Sweet, well then I'll cast it on myself as well.
Okay.
I probably ran like an idiot and could have gotten it too.
I was hoping you'd stay in, but I get it.
That's what happens when you have quick reflexes. You don't think, you just do.
So everyone's gonna glow a little gold. And that'll be my turn.
All right. So you go ahead, and everybody has a slight glow about them. Everybody's kind of ooh, kind of marveling in this fog. Everything around you is kind of now lit up very strangely, and it's all very mystical and great.
I think it's good.
From beyond the fog, you can hear an incantation of some sort, and your vision is obscured. Oh, Baffo can see it. You see the Genasi reach up her hand and touch where your arrow was, and the arrow slides out of her body, and you see the bleeding slow. Doesn't stop, but it slows.
She's got cheating magic.
So that is going to be her turn. She's going to stay out of the fog for now. And that brings us to Garpoon.
All right, well, before anything happens, I go, "You face Garpoon!"
Yeah, from the cloud of smoke. Just picture the cloud of smoke, and all you hear is that.
Then he whips out his 2 axes, and he's ready to roll. I need to know from this cloud, is my vision also obscured?
Yes,
Okay.
you are not entirely... I mean, you know where they were, but you do not know any other details at the moment.
And if I know where they were, is anyone within range, like my 20-foot range?
Oh, for throwing?
Yeah.
No, you'd have to move forward to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And to put yourself within range, you could stay within the cloud and do it, but you would be rolling at disadvantage because you can't see them.
And Lialta's where in my relative to me?
She's currently standing beside you.
All right. I am going to step in what I believe to be as close to as in front of her as possible for the most potential danger that's coming, or that would be coming that I can't see, obviously, but I'm going to just estimate. So I'll just stand in front of her, take a wide stance, and say, "Behind me, little one," and then that'll be my turn. There's not much else I can do in there.
Okay.
You could ready something. Did you ready an action?
I mean, I don't know what to ready, because...
You can, as soon as someone's in melee range, you can swing. I mean, it's as basic as that, I think.
Is it? In his case? Oh, I didn't know I could do that. Then I will ready that
Think so?
action. I'm ready to swipe whoever comes near me.
Yeah, you can ready an attack.
All right. I will ready a dual-wielded axe attack to any dumbass that walks past either side of me.
Now, I believe you
can
can only
wield
ready one attack. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
And
can't.
the bonus action has to happen on your turn. You can't ready bonus actions, but
okay.
you can ready an action, so you'll get one attack.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll ready one axe then.
Just make that axe count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Garpoon.
All right. So you all stand there, and this is not an official lair action, but essentially the environment you are in has what might amount to one. So, one moment. All right. You hear a pop and a fizzle and you see more just through the cloud. Bafo, you can see it clearly. You see more of those arcing lights. Nothing opens though. Nothing comes through, and then it settles for the moment.
I'd like to roll a concern check, please.
A concern check. Okay, you're concerned.
19, definitely concerned.
You're very concerned.
I wasted my 19. Shit.
All right, it is the orcs' turn. I've divided them a little bit, and so we are going to have. All right. We're gonna say. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep my map in check because I got to keep track of where Bo is. So through the fog, all of a sudden, you see a shape step up to you, Garpoon, and you've readied an action for exactly this moment.
Okay.
And you can go ahead and take a swing at disadvantage inside the fog.
All right. I will do that, and I will. Hold on.
Oh, we get disadvantage.
Oh, it's not too bad. 13.
And you have a 1d4 you can roll to add to that.
Oh, add your 1d4.
Oh, right. So let's see. That's 16 total then.
16. That's with disadvantage.
That's
even
with disadvantage. Yeah, I rolled a 13 and a
pretty
17,
good.
so it's not bad.
You hit him. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Oh, sweet. Let's do damage dice. Yeah, we got. And I don't have to do disadvantage on this or anything. It's just damage dice, right? Like
Yeah, it's just damage
I don't
dice.
take a hit on that. Okay. That would. Oh, great. So that's 9 total damage.
Okay.
Maximum amount.
You stand in front of Lialta and you're ready, and you're just, as soon as you see or any hint of anything, you're going to swing at it. And all of a sudden, you just see a shadow rushing at you. And this screaming orc, his name's Ak, by the way, for anybody who wants to know the names,
All right.
Yes!
just comes through going, ah! And you just, in response, swing your axe, and you have to decapitate him in a single blow. And his body just crumples and slides to your feet.
So I like to picture that I see the cloud of smoke and I just see a head pop up and then pop down.
And I
Have
go.
to decapitate, Bo. Have to decapitate.
Oh, sorry.
You probably saw a gout of blood fly through the air, but yeah, he comes to a rest at your feet. Let's see. The next orc, so actually that would put you here. The next orc is going to charge forward, and he is going to be coming after Spores to try and make an attack on Spores.
All right, as he enters
Okay.
my 10-foot area, I'll do my spores attack. Halo of spores.
All right.
So when entering within 10 feet, I basically take a little handful and just and like throw it up in his face, and a little puff of green gold spores get thrown in his nostrils.
Okay. He's got to make a Constitution save, right?
Correct, 13.
He did not make it.
All right,
Go ahead and roll your damage for the spores.
3 points of necrotic damage.
Did you add your 1d4?
Oh, it's a
Oh,
Not-
it's a
that's
reaction.
not damage, right?
Okay. It's an attacker.
It's
Oh,
for the
only
attack
right.
roll.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry.
No attack
Oh,
roll because they're the
Attacker
ones
save.
saving.
Yeah.
How much
thank you.
damage was it, Kyle?
3 necrotic.
3 necrotic. Okay, so as the orc known as Spittle, comes running through at you, he's also as he goes running through, and you are ready because you've fought these sorts of guys before. And as soon as you see the shadow, you just Spores, and he and he starts just coughing and hacking as spores enter his mouth. He is still going to try to make an attack at you though with his axe. I don't think it's going to hit. 11 to hit.
13, so miss.
All right. He's too busy coughing. He swings wide and misses you. Garpoon, you have another shape come running up at you.
Oi!
And another orc is going to take a swing at you.
Okay.
He rolled a natural 20.
Oh Lord. Well, that's
That
definitely
will-
a hit.
That will hit you.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
Ooh. These guys don't hit easily, but when they do. Crap. You are going to take 13 points of damage.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
All right. Woo!
As
Did he
this
roll with
orc-
disadvantage?
Oh! Nope, that's a good reminder. Put that damage back. Put that
That's
damage
why
back.
they call me the inspector.
Oh,
I know things.
Let's go back.
Guess what? He didn't hit you at all because his 20 got replaced
Woo!
by
I'm glad I.
four.
Yeah.
Four. Okay.
Fog cloud.
So as the shadow
Cloud.
runs towards you, you have a brief flash of what would happen if he hit you, and you know it'll be bad. So you get real ready for it, and when the axe comes down, you move out of the way.
All right.
And he swings hard, and it hits the ground and just cracks the earth, but not you.
Sweet.
And that feels pretty good.
Yeah.
High five, Scott.
Thank you for remembering that.
All right, I'm going to roll 3 attacks at disadvantage. They are going to be at all 3 of the party members that are in the fog. So we will start with spores. That's not going to hit. The first roll was a 4. Lialta, you got a 11 to hit? 12 to hit, sorry.
Miss.
Okay, and Garpoon, also a 12 to hit.
Yeah,
It's
miss.
not going to hit you either. He
No.
rolled exactly the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you just suddenly hear from behind you as 3 javelins just land in your general vicinity, but do not hit anything. That is going to do it for their turn. That brings us back to Bafo.
All right. So three orcs ran in. The Genasi's out. There's 3 orcs behind the fog cloud. They all seem to be paying attention. Maybe
There's
not the Genasi, but
4 orcs behind the cloud.
Oh,
One
4
did
orcs.
not make an attack.
so
One's
6,
watching.
but 6 remaining. Do I have that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. What I ideally like to do right now, bonus action hide, then heartstring. The lay of the land, I'm not sure if a hide, like if I can
Roll a stealth check.
pull an Apex Legends and make believe like I'm somewhere else, but not in that spot. Kind of thing.
They're attacking the others, so you could, in theory, hide yourself a bit.
Okay. Shit. Sorry, I just need my stealth modifier. Is what I have to add. Oh, 10. I rolled real low, but I got 10 still.
Okay, you kind of hide down in the trees. See
Do I
what you
get
can.
Can I get advantage on anything I can see? Is what I'm asking.
Not right now. They're looking in there. Everything you can see, they might not be paying perfect attention to you, but you get the impression that you're not totally hidden to where you would have
So
advantage.
I can't get sneak attack on the Genasi who isn't in the fog cloud.
Mm-mm. She is aware of where you are.
Okay. Hide action failed. The trees, are they scalable?
No, they would break under your weight.
No big trees. All right, then I'm just. Oh, I used my bonus action, so I'm just going to take a shot with my bow, since stealth hide was a bonus action. I'm just in the trees and I shoot at the Genasi. Natural 1.
Nice.
Okay, you pull out heartstring, and you thought you were pretty hidden, and you try to hide from behind the tree, and a branch happens to be on the other side of the string, and as it goes to shoot, the arrow just kind of snaps and cracks to the side. You will need to use a bonus action next round to get it properly reloaded.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect.
All right, that unless
That's
you
my
want to
turn.
move. Okay.
I'm not going to move because I want to recharge feline agility.
Okay. That is going to make it Spore's turn.
All right, I'll look at the guy in front of me and I'd say, I just have this tick, and I'll shoot a beam of ticks at him.
Wait, so is it like a laser beam of ticks? Just
Yeah, like a little hose, like.
But they curve. It's a curve. It's not a straight beam, but like curves because they're light, right? So they
Well,
probably
it
float
like
up a bit.
if you put your thumb over the hose, it shoots a little harder. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
All right, he definitely failed his con save. Go ahead and roll your damage.
All right. He
That's
takes
amazing.
1d6, so 2 points of poison damage, and must flee in a cardinal direction decided by a d4.
Oh, is this spit?
Oh.
Oh, your your fleas land on him. Were you doing non-fatal damage? I guess. Let me ask that.
Yes, that was the plan.
Okay, so the fleas and all of that get on him, and he just, and he's just screaming, and he just goes running off, swatting at fleas and ticks, and then you just hear a loud crack and a snapping sound, and then a whoomph as he runs headfirst into the branch of a tree and knocks himself unconscious.
Whoops.
I say, thank God for that.
And there goes Spittle. He's down. No more him. All right. Anything else on your turn?
Nope. Stand my ground.
All right. That's going to bring us to Lialta.
All right, Lialta's gonna see the orc that came after Garpoon and give a little scream, and then she'll hold out her palm again and cast Sacred Flame.
Ooh,
And
okay.
he has to roll a Dex 12 save.
He did not.
Cool. So light will hit them for, for 5 damage.
Okay. This is the orc known as Grit. He is a hardy-looking orc, but you blast out your divine energy, and you've seen it enough now that it's a little more focused, and it lances out at him and just hits him square in the chest. And you think, all right, I got control of this. And he's just got smoke wisps coming up around his body.
Yeah. And that'll be her turn.
Okay. With that done, that's going to move to the Genasi. And she is going to... I just need to look at this and see if she has to be able to see for this, or if it's just a creature within range. All right. She is going to take a couple steps towards your direction, Bafo. So she moves about 10 feet closer, and she is going to fire a guiding bolt at you. So you need to
sounds bad.
make...
It does seem bad.
I believe it's a dexterity save.
Sounds like guided missile. I'm like, bullshit.
Yeah.
I need to make a dexterity save?
Let me look. Hold on.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it real
this is a
quick.
dexterity save. I can do this.
Oh, nope. It's just a ranged spell attack. Okay.
Oh.
She's going to miss. That was a bad roll.
My AC is 13. It's super low.
I rolled a 3. It's not going to hit you. It's done.
me! Come on and hit me!
So you see a powerful bolt of light energy just go soaring through the trees and crackle off
The
in
way
the
I want
distance.
to, the way I want to picture it is that my cat eyes are looking out from behind a tree, and then the bolt. I duck back in, and the bolt fires and hits some of the tree, and then I put my head back.
Sure. Yeah. That seems like that would annoy her. Yes, you should do that. All right. That's going to bring us to our little fun lair action for this encounter. Oh, helps if I roll a d20 and not a d12. Maybe that's been the problem. Okay, there we go. So as you're doing your little cat dance, all of a sudden the ground starts to tremble.
Oh, boy.
All of you feel the earth shaking. And you hear a... And a giant rift appears. And all of a sudden, a torrent of water comes pouring through it. It's for those of you in the cloud, you don't see this. This is technically happening back where the other orcs are. Baffo, you see this. A giant rift opens up, and all of you are just hearing the sound of just tons of water rushing. In fact, you can feel water hitting, and it's already up to your knees. It's so deep just from this brief period. And a giant piece of metal is moving through the rift, like nothing you've ever seen before.
Submarine.
And more metal and more, and then the rift snaps shut before this metal has even come through, and it cuts it. And a massive, about 60 feet long and about 50 feet up
Oh my god.
of metal falls down and crushes the entire back line of orcs. It just
Whoa.
falls from the sky and lands on them, and water is still raining down. And Baffo, you're looking at it, and it looks alien, but it looks somewhat like the ships that exist in Serifax, but not exactly. It looks different, and you can hear screaming coming from inside and yelling, and you begin to see people falling from the sky and falling from the backside of the ship and jumping from the ship as it embeds itself into the ground, still a big piece of it sticking up.
I know it's not my turn, but I want to run to help the people.
Okay. Let's see here. So that's going to get rid of... Sorry, I know you guys like the name, so let me see who's gone now. Doggo was crushed. Guy was crushed.
Guy the orc?
Guy orc. Oh,
Hey,
man.
Guy.
That's awesome.
Corbett was crushed, and Burke was crushed. Rip, guys. You had a thing land on you.
I want to run and help, and I want to point to the Genasi and say, "Come help me! Come and help me! Rescue the people who are dying!"
And you see her, and her eyes are just wide with shock. That leaves Grit. He does not know what happened. He's going to try to attack. He's going to continue to try to attack Garpoon.
Garpoon! Sorry.
That is a 18 to hit. I think that just meets your AC.
It
correct?
does meet my AC. He doesn't have to
All right.
do a disadvantage because he's in the. Is he in the cloud?
He does. Thank you all for reminding me.
He
Nope,
likes-
he doesn't. He doesn't hit you.
Okay, good.
Garpoon likes meat.
He swings at you again, and no such luck. He's kind of just ignoring the fact that he's in about ankle deep of water at the moment. Maybe
Okay.
even about on him up to his ankle and thigh.
All
Or-
right.
You should drown
Shins.
him in your anger.
Yeah.
That's
Now
going
that there's
to.
water, you can drown him.
Yeah.
That brings us back to Baffo. You're going to run to see if you can help.
So I have feline agility up. I'm going to use my action to look at the Genasi and say, "Let's put this nonsense aside and help the people who require help." And this time my voice is less fruity and more cat-like with a growl. "We must save the people who are here." And then I just take off, booking it 90 feet of just cat running, sploosh, 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 sploosh through the water. And who can I save? What can I do? I want to help people.
All right, you go running over there, and as you do, you're into about your knees of water. There is fish in this water.
I'll save the fish.
You can definitely taste kind of salt in the air, and you get over to the front of the ship, and you see humans everywhere.
Yeah, they falling.
Everything that's around this is humans, and they are dressed oddly. Clothing is very strange to you. They're wearing just short cloth shirts. They're wearing blue denim pants. Some of them have jackets on, and it's all very flashy and gaudy and strange to you.
They're from
And-
Miami.
They're just yelling, and they're just, "Help, help, what has happened, what is this?" And you go running up, and they see you, and people, as soon as they see you, start screaming in just absolute terror upon seeing you. And you start to try to assist in any way, saying, I'll help, but everybody is backing away from you, screaming.
Okay, well that's my turn.
All right.
I'm trying to help them. Yeah.
That takes us to Spores, you're up.
All right, with all this commotion going on, there's still the orc in front of Garpoon, right?
Yeah.
Is he still in battle?
Yeah, the orc is still fighting. I don't know what Garpoon's doing, but yeah, the orc is. He doesn't know because the cloud is up. He seems to not be too concerned about the water. He's just sort of ignoring it.
All right, I will, because of all the commotion, I will disperse the cloud. So let go of the concentration
Oh,
and,
jeez.
and shoot it
Okay,
out.
the cloud goes down, and you just see the orc go, whoa, as he stares up at this red and silver piece of metal that's now just a 50-foot tall tower sticking out of the ground behind him, and is just
What's his name
shocked.
again? What's his name?
This orc is Grit.
All right, Grit. Enjoy it
And
while you can, buddy.
He drops his axe as soon as he sees it.
All right, with that down, I'll look at the Genasi. What's she doing?
She's just staring in shock right now as well.
All right. Oh, okay. We have to help these people. You, flee. And I'll shoot fleas at the orc closest to me.
He has fleas jump on him, and he just goes tearing off running. He's
He's looking like Linus from Charlie Brown.
yeah,
All the
he's
fleas.
just doing the high step splashing through the water, and he just goes running past her. I will say, Scott, for Garpoon's benefit, it's up to you. You see this orc who has been fighting. He's dropped his weapon. Fleas jump on him. He's now freaking out and running away. I will go ahead and let you make an attack on him if you want. Otherwise, you can just let him run.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go, come here, love. Let me put you out your misery. And I grab him by the head and I dunk him down into the water and I put my foot on his head and I hold it there. Now, I don't know if that's a grapple or what we need to do.
Yeah. Let him do it. Let him do it.
Make a strength check.
Okay, strength check is 14 plus. Sorry, I forgot. 15, 16, 17.
Yep. You grab him by the head. You shove his head under the water, and you see fleas kind of on your hand now. But there's just flea bodies floating up to the surface of the water and kind of like dancing on the water. They're not breaking the water tension, so there's just a bunch of fleas and mites on the surface of the water. And he's thrashing around for a while, and then eventually you feel him go limp and stop.
All right.
Chat room, are you not entertained?
And I'll let my foot off and yell, Garpoon!
I love Garpoon. I just met him, but I love him deeply.
And now everybody, combat has essentially ended. The Genasi is just walking towards it in shock. You all turn around and you just see what looks like the front of a ship just embedded in the ground. There's now a small, not very deep, but lake where there used to just be earth. And as you move towards it, you can feel fish swimming around in it. And all of a sudden it smells like the sea out where you are. And there are just humans everywhere. You see some of them holding up strange little rectangular devices, like holding it up and just going over everything. And you see some strange flashes occurring and all of that as you approach the ship. And but there's a few of them there that are kind of up near the top, generally safe, that are being a little more cavalier about the situation and are just kind of recording it. And
is there anyone that requires assistance?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are hurt that seem to fall or found themselves on the wrong side of where that broke and fell off of it, and they probably had a big fall and are either hurt or dead.
So I'm proactively trying to get who I can that's alive and put them somewhere safe, sort of in the woods, away from water, so they don't drown. And I'm gonna snap my fingers at Lialta because I've seen she can do.
I know how to heal. Stay
You don't.
calm, everyone.
And so Baffo is having a very hard time getting anybody who's conscious to assist. They all are avoiding him and kind of terrified of him. They are very weirded out by you, but they are at least allowing you to approach them. Baffo, you're kind of...
Do I
You're finding-
immediately intuit it's because they've never seen my Arcane before, and that's where the shot
Yeah.
comes from? But I'm
Yeah,
totally
they-
like, I know
But
about all this
he's-
stuff. So
They have no idea what you are.
He's
I
just
say-
a cat. See, if he eats fish just like regular cats do, he licks his paws, he drinks milk. It's a cat.
So you
It's
all
okay.
begin to administer what aid you can to the people you can. Baffo, you're helping people that are maybe a little more unconscious or out of it, or maybe can't resist. They're maybe going, as you're dragging them away. But
if
they
they're
can't
injured,
really...
they can't get. If they're injured, they can't get away from me.
Right. So you just got
I
them.
just grab them by their clothes and just drag them over, and they probably think I'm dragging them to my cat's den to eat them, but really I'm just dragging them over to Lialta and to a safe place away, because that thing might fall over, that boat piece, right? It can't be up there safely.
It becomes clear that this is Flux. Whatever this is, it is from the other world, the world that the anathema existed from and destroyed everything, or so you thought. And this is stuff coming through the barrier and now being a part of your world. And all these humans are unbranded, and all these humans are terrified and have never seen anything like you. And that's where we will pick up the story next week.
Nice.
Well, wait. Can I just hold that for a quick second?
Sure.
Sure.
So as we pick things up, and the four of us get together, I want to look at them and say, "Looks like the game's a paw."
Okay.
We ended on that, yeah.
There you go. I like it.
Like
Well
games of
done.
paw.
Instead of the games of foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game's a paw. Get it?
Okay.
It's
yeah.
pretty good. It's not bad. Well,
I've been waiting all 3 hours just to say that. Now that I say it, I'm sated.
now you're good. You've said all you need to say.
Nailed
Yeah.
it.
That was great. Well, you're all going to want to be back next week for the exciting conclusion. Well, for now anyway, of this particular world and campaign.
It's exciting while we don't know what happens.
Right.
For now, we're excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited about where this goes, and I'm really enjoying it. So I hope people are as well, and that you'll check it out next week for the second half of our one shot, and we'll all be here to do that. And don't forget, after that, we'll have a brand new kickoff to the There Will Be Dungeons Dragon Engine campaign, basically part 2. I guess you can call it that, right? Is that weird to call it that? That's not weird, is it?
I like referring to it as year 2, or we might just
Year
give the
2.
whole thing. Just
Sure.
call it the Rise of the Tiet Galeen.
There you go. All of that and more. So lots of fun stuff coming up. But next week, join our current heroes for who knows what. This got real intense, real weird at the end, and I'm super excited about it. Hope you are as well. Check out therewillbedungeons.com if you're looking for ways to find us and support us and help us. Get your tea link there and go get yourself some There Will Be Dungeons tea. You can send us your emails on that site as well, and voicemails, all that kind of stuff. We'd love to have them on the show. It's going to do it for us, for me, for Bo, for John, for Kristen, and for Kyle. We'll see you next time. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com. That's a good question.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Garpoon.
That went great.
Garpoon.
Garpoon. Garpoon, man.
Lealta?
You stand before Garpoon.
Boy.
It looks
Oi.
like the game's a paw.
I really wanted to turn. I really was looking forward to some like really violent behavior, and I got to do it, and that makes me happy.
Yeah,
Awesome.
definitely.
Yeah.
I think you should get inspiration for that violence, because it wasn't just